Hi, good day. I am Alvin Alodomangas from BS Marine Engineering 3 Delta. Today, we're going to talk all about discuss the functions of different engine safety protection. So, together with my teammates and co-reporters, we will dive in the different devices that protects the main engine. So, let's start. Functions of different engine safety protection is our topic for today. And upon taking this discussion, we'll have these objectives. We'll be able to identify or distinguish different engine safety protections. We'll be able to understand the relevance of each component and how, of course, they interact with each other. So, the main safety devices. So in our main engine, we have different safety devices. We have the crankcase relief door, the cylinder head relief valve, the starting air relief valve, the flame trap or flame arrestor, oil mist detector, the turning gear interlock, and the running direction interlock. So those are the components or the devices in our safety protection system.
So what is cylinder relief valve? So cylinder relief valve is it designed to relieve a pressure in excess of 10% to 20% above normal. So a spring holds that the valve closed and its lifting pressure is set by an appropriate thickness of packing piece. So what to do if the cylinder head relief valve is leaking for lifted? So it temporarily measures either leaking or lifting of relief valve. Both should be considered as a serious issue and should be investigated. So if the ship is maneuvering, the engine can be stopped below temporary measures can be taken. So it rotates the spindle, it sit until the leakage stops. In most cases, dirt accumulated on the seat and accumulated seat that can drive it off. So gentle knock on the spindle also can help stop the leak. So the number three is inform bridge about the issue and ask them to reduce stop starts. Main purpose is to lift when overpressure occurs in the combustion area. The resultant combustion gas believing spilled to a through a flame aid pipe to deck. So causes of lifting service: incorrect fuel pump timing, and then air start valve stuck open or wrongly timed. So third is incorrect camshaft timing, chain breakage or governor fault, especially in heavy seas. Then fourth is the badly leaking fuel injector through lost nozzle or enlarged injection holes. Five is water leaking into the combustion chamber. Last is scavenge fire. So what is explosion relief valve? So in a diesel engine is a type of internal combustion engine that ignites the fuel, injecting it into a high pressure air in the combustion chamber. In common with all internal combustion engines, the diesel engines operates with a fixed sequence of events, which we achieve either a four-stroke or two-stroke. So a two-stroke is being travel of the piston between the extreme points. And then the words and the fire explosion spell danger under any circumstances. Much more, in case of ships which sail across the deep seas, often in isolation from the rest of the world. So we have been studying about various situations involving fire, firefighting equipment, and so forth is our previous topic. So we have also talked about the crank explosions and their causes. As we learned in our discussions, a crankcase explosion imposed heavy threat to the ship's engine room and ship personnel. So it is imperative to take necessary precautions to prevent such as explosions on ships. The main reason for crankcase explosion is the accumulation of fuel mist of the crankcase, which gets ignited due to sparks or hot spots. A large pressure is generated inside the crankcase due to this, which eventually bursts out the doors and casing. An explosion relief valve is it relieves the excessive pressure inside the crankcase, thereby it normalizing the pressure or it balance the pressure to prevent the flames inside the crankcase from coming out from causing further damage to the ship.
So relief valve Its purpose is to relieve excess pressure in the air start manifold. So it consists of a spring-loaded valve disc which locates on a one matting seat which is bolted to the end of the air start manifold. So when the force exerted on the disc due to excessive pressure is greater than the spring force, so holding the valve closed, the valve will open and release the excessive pressure. So the pressure relief valve is one of the most important types of the safety valves. Why? Because it was designed to control or relieve overpressure levels for optimal functionality in any system, like including the chemical, the petrochemical, the power, and especially the oil and gas industries. So flame arrestors. So the flame strap is manufactured from brass or aluminum alloy, which both have a high specific heat capacity. And also a number of holes are bored through the thick circular form to allow the air to pass through. So I think for me it is as also a safety device that is fitted to the opening of an enclosure or to the connecting the pipework of a system of enclosures. And the whole intended function is to allow flow but prevent the transmission of flame in the event an ignition takes place. So for me, they are fitted in the main air line immediately before the air start valve to restrict the risk of a flame in the cylinder propagating back to the main air start manifold. So by dissipating the heat energy in the flame.
The presence of an oil mist in the crankcase is the result of oil vaporization caused by a hot spot. Explosive conditions can result of a buildup of oil mist is allowed. So the oil mist detector uses photoelectric cells to measure small increase in oil mist density. A motor-driven fan continuously draws samples of crankcase oil mist through a measuring tube. So next is the turning gear interlock. So the turning gear interlock is a valve which not allows starting air to operate a system when the turning gear is engaged.
So last is why the engine safety protection is important. So a ship's propulsion engine is what keeps the ship going at sea. So it is considered as the heart of any vessel. So the marine engine of the ship takes the entire load to propel the ship forward or any direction. Of course, without an engine, ship is almost a dead ship because it cannot move forward or go to its desired direction. So throughout its life, the propulsion engine of the ship goes through various loads and stresses from the rough seas and weather, and also from the harsh maneuvering and breakdowns. So to avoid any major loss or damages to the marine engine and to protect the life and the property of the vessel, so there are several protective devices that are fitted to safeguard the engine from major damages and breakdown. So the first is the alarm. So in case of deviation of engine parameters from a set value, so there is an audible and visual alarm that will sound, which will give an early warning of the problem. So next is the slowdown. So it is the next stage of protection, which when actions are taken are not sufficient to control the ongoing problem. So hence, engine slowdown is done to counter the disturbed parameter. So next is the shutdown. So when there is higher fluctuations in the engine parameter, which can harm other system of the engine, so the shutdown protective devices cut off the fuel supply and then the engine stops, so that the engine is protected from the possibility of explosion. So next is the starting interlock. So this will not allow the engine to start from the standstill condition if some important system within the engine has not been operated or arranged properly. So that is why the engine safety and protection is important.